AITA for telling my grandmother on her deathbed that her favorite grandchild had been stealing from her for years. My grandmother was in her final weeks. She had dementia that had been progressing for 3 years. In a moment of unusual clarity, she asked me why her savings account was nearly empty. She had never discussed her finances with anyone in the family. What she was telling me was that she had noticed. I am going to tell this story as honestly as I can, and I am going to acknowledge that there is a version of this where I was wrong. I need you to have the whole picture to make your judgment. My grandmother, Nana Rose, was 91. She had been the family matriarch in every sense, sharp, funny, fiercely loving, and in possession of opinions about everything that she shared without invitation and usually without regret. The dementia had come in her late 80s and had progressed steadily. By the time this happened, she had good days and very bad days. Her favorite grandchild has always been my cousin Liam. This is known within the family without bitterness. It is simply true, and it has always been true. Liam is charming and attentive and has visited regularly, which I had always respected about him. Liam had power of attorney over Nana Rose's financial affairs following a legal process about 2 years ago. He managed her bills, her care payments, her accounts. The family trusted him completely. About 6 weeks before she died, Nana Rose had a day of unusual clarity. I was visiting alone. She was talking to me with a coherence I hadn't seen in months. She talked about my grandfather who had died 20 years earlier. She talked about her mother. And then, suddenly, she looked at me and said, "Where has all my money gone? My savings used to have such a lot of money in them." I did not know what to say. I asked her carefully if she remembered how much was there. She named a figure that I had no way of verifying in the moment. She said Liam handled all of that. She said she trusted Liam. I called a solicitor that evening. I asked what my options were. I requested access to her account statements under a provision in the power of attorney documentation that entitled family members to request records in specific circumstances. What those statements showed was not what I was hoping to find. I told Nana Rose the following week. In another good moment, am I the asshole? Update 5 months later. Nana Rose died 6 weeks after I told her. In her final weeks, she was largely not coherent. In one of her last coherent moments, she held my hand and told me she was glad I had said something. I will carry that with me. Liam had withdrawn approximately £40,000 from her accounts over the preceding 2 years under various descriptions that did not correspond to her care costs. Our family solicitor has described this as financial elder abuse, and the matter has been reported to the relevant authorities. A police investigation is ongoing. The family response was, initially, not what I expected. Several relatives were angry at me for telling her. They said she had only weeks to live, and I had spent them in distress. My aunt told me I should have waited until she was gone and then handled it quietly within the family. I have thought about this a great deal. Nana Rose asked me where her money had gone in a moment of clarity. She had noticed. She deserved to know she had been heard. Waiting until she was gone to handle it quietly within the family would have meant allowing Liam to attend her funeral as her beloved grandson while quietly arranging a cover-up. Liam has not spoken to me or most of the family since the investigation began. His parents, my aunt and uncle, have not spoken to me either. Nana Rose is gone. I am grieving her, and I am glad that the last thing she knew was that someone had listened to her. NTA or ITA. Was this the right thing to do in her final weeks? Comment below.